Welcome to the Tech Wrap-Up. Today on the Tech Wrap-Up we'll have the tech news, as always. Also today, the EU is banning non-removable phone and laptop batteries. Also, today is Linus Sebastian's last day as CEO of Linus Media Group. Welcome to the Tech Wrap-Up, it's nice to have you with us. So yeah, today over in Canada is the 30th of June. So yeah, that means it's Linus Sebastian's last day as CEO of Linus Media Group. Yeah, so it's an end of an era, really. Well, so we do have most of the topics that we were going to do last week, but we had some technical difficulties because internet decided not to work. Because nothing works, does it, when you need it to. We've added in some extra topics as well, and Foster may be joining us during the show. Hopefully. So yeah, should we get into our first topic? Should we get into the tech news? The crunch news. Crunch news. Anyway, let's do it. Which one's for the crunch news intro again? I've forgotten. There we go. Welcome to Crunch News, the news segment of the Tech Wrap-Up. Let's get into our first article. The Dutch are to restrict chip equipment exports amid US pressure. The Netherlands has announced new rules restricting exports of certain semiconductor manufacturing equipment. It follows pressure from the US to curb the sale of computer chip technology to China. The Dutch government did not cite this as a reason, though, saying it had taken the step on national security grounds. The Chinese government responded saying the decision was not in the interests of any party and would impact chip production and supply chains. Mao Ning, China's foreign ministry spokeswoman, said China opposed the US's abuse of export controls and its use of various pretexts to win over and coerce other countries into imposing a technological blockade against China. The US is engaged in an arms race with China over the control of the supply of semiconductors, especially certain computer chips used for supercomputing and artificial intelligence. Such chips have created a $500 billion industry that is expected to double by 2030, and it is thought that whoever controls the supply chains, the network of companies and countries that makes the chips, holds the key to being an unrivaled superpower. Okay, let's get into our next article. Robots are being used to conduct knee surgeries. A man from Brighton says he feels delighted, privileged and lucky to have undergone robotic-assisted knee replacement surgery. Chris Ives, 74, is one of the first patients to receive the innovative procedure at the Sussex Orthopaedic Centre in Haywards Health. Mr. Ives opted to have the surgery after more than a decade of pain due to severe osteoarthritis. He is recovering and is hoping to have the same procedure on his right knee. Prior to the surgery on his left knee, Mr. Ives said he kept putting off getting treatment despite suffering from restricted movement. I just couldn't continue anymore, he said. I had arthritis in both knees, and it was my choice to which one would be replaced first, but it was inevitable it needed to be done. But I put off and put it off. It got to the point where I was struggling with simple day-to-day things like walking and was having to take regular breaks. He had his operation at the treatment centre in the Princess Royal Hospital, the first NHS hospital in the southeast to offer Mako robot technology for knee replacements. Okay, so yeah, that was the tech news. Oh no. Let's get into our first topic. The EU is banning non-removable phone and laptop batteries. Okay, so you might think I'm for this. I'm against this. Because it'll have an impact on battery life, battery capacity, and well, water resistance or waterproofing, and yeah, the slimness of devices. So here it says the European Parliament approved a ban on the sale of laptops with non-removable batteries. This is also going to be for phones as well. The ban is introduced in order to extend the life of laptops and reduce environmental damage. It will enter into force in 3.5 years. So yeah, this is going back to how everything was 10 years ago. I think the EU is just sticking its nose in where it doesn't belong. Honestly, it's stupid. Yeah, it's really stupid, to be honest. Like, as soon as laptops stopped having removable batteries, they got so much... their battery life became so much better. So think about that, EU. Do you want bulky and really bad battery life laptops, or would you rather have thin laptops that have better or the same battery life? Yeah. Have a think about that, so-called smart people, because yeah, I don't think these people even understand why these companies have made the decisions to not have removable batteries. So yeah, think about that, EU. So yeah, should we get into our next topic? And still be annoyed by the EU because yeah, this is worse than the whole thing about USB-C, by the way. Anyway, should we get into our next topic? Today is Linus Sebastian's last day as CEO of Linus Media Group. So this comes after he announced his resignation on the 18th of May this year, and he's going to become Chief Vision Officer. So he's not leaving Linus Media Group, but yeah, he'll be replaced by Taryn Tong, his former CEO at NCIX. See, I'm just gonna play part of the Wang show because I think he can explain it better than me. So yeah, let's cue it. Yeah, let's go.
everyone? Welcome to the WAN Show. We've got a great show lined up for you guys today. Of course, one of the big topics is it's the end of an era. This is officially my last day as the CEO of Linus Media Group, which is both a little hard to process and and really exciting. So I can talk a little bit about that. Maybe we'll do some Q&A since I still haven't done that Flowplane exclusive Q&A. Sorry, I will do it.
Maybe
In other news,
maybe you shouldn't do Q&A because of that.
YouTube is now offering you a stellar deal. Free videos if you've got ad blocker enabled. And after that, you're blocked. You're done. We're going to be talking about this as well. What else we got, Luke?
I should have been more prepared for this, as per usual. We launched a new channel.
You've been sitting there for an hour and a half waiting for me. You didn't think of which two topics you wanted to talk about.
No, I didn't. This guy. Even if I do, though, you take them. So, Game Linked, new channel launched. Actually great. Already exploded. Gonna get a silver play button already. Going well. The first video is number 6 on trending. It's awesome. I'm excited. You should be too. Moving on. We have other things. I'm gonna pick this one. I have no idea what it's about. #Milkgate.
Wow, that's a really small topic.
Is it?
But sure, I guess we'll make sure to address it.
Oh, okay, I see what it is now. I'm actually extremely not interested in that. So I'm going to move forward. Oh, here we go. I love it. An AI topic. Game publisher fires staff, hires AI editor. Let's go. Let's go, Dan. Dan.
Today by Corsair Point Cyber. So this is it. Tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is Canada Day, statutory holiday. Do you have a hat too, Luke?
Yeah.
Jessica, our WAN show writer, provided us with like Canada trucker hats to wear during the show. I'm not sure if mine is going to last the whole show, but it's very stylish. I am liking the sparkle. So tomorrow's a statutory holiday, but the day after that, our new CEO, Mr. Taryn Tong, will be starting. It's not really, a jarring, okay, this day is the last day and everything's going to change. It's not really going to be like that. I mean, there's going to be a transition period. He's not even going to be in office full time, like 5 days a week until probably sometime next year, just because of some immigration challenges and that sort of thing. But this is it. And I've had a lot of time to think about, what's going to change. But, realistically, what I would like to do is kind of open it up to you guys for a little bit of Q&A, not merch message Q&A. We'll get to merch messages later. Of course, if you want to ask questions, you can do it with a merch message, lttstore.com. In the checkout, you just fill out the little merch message box. And then when you complete your order, it'll go to our producer, Dan, who I can't show you because I don't have a Stream Deck in front of me. But hey, there he is. What's up, producer Dan? And he will go through and curate some for me and Luke to talk about later. Man, the number of people that have asked me about it today, I have to confess that this week has been so busy and I have been feeling so crummy. I think I'm just kind of jet lagged and wasn't sleeping enough for my trip to New York, that I actually didn't realize until multiple people asked me how I was feeling today. And I was like, pretty good. Like, I'm tired.
Like, what do you mean?
People don't ask me how I'm feeling today, generally speaking. I think they care. I pay them to care or whatever, right? Haha. /S, guys, I'm kidding. But more than one person sort of went out of their way. And then finally it was Mark, our editor, Mark, who actually said, how are you feeling? It's your last day as CEO today. I'm like, oh, right. There's definitely a few things that have changed already. And I'd say the biggest one is that when I don't want to deal with something, I'm just CCing Taryn and going, when he starts, he can deal with this. Have you encountered any of that, Luke?
No, but I have encountered running into problems and just not even contacting you in the first place and just talking to him directly because that's what you told me to do.
Okay, then the system works.
Yeah. I don't know.
Has it been helpful? Honestly, I want, like, we're doing this live, Luke. We're doing this live.
I have
he doesn't even get a
appreciated-
chance to defend himself.
Yeah. I have appreciated the conversations. I think we're actually quite aligned on a lot of stuff. I've brought up some concerns and some ideas, and he's listening to the ideas. I don't know that he's taking them. He doesn't have to take them. Whatever. But he seems, invested in making things better, which is cool. He seems to care, and he's listening to stuff. But part of the problem has been that he's not full-time yet, right? So like he can't really action a lot of these items yet. So I'm excited for him to be here full-time all the time, instead of like every time I call him, he's like in an airport or something. So it'll be nice that he like actually has time to dedicate to this. So like we'll see, but at least from my point of view, the process is already working. There's been stuff where I've been like, this needs work, and either I would bring it to you in the past, or sometimes just not even bother because I know you don't have the time to deal with it anyways. But now there is like someone who that is their whole job, is to deal with some of these things. So it's like, cool. Yeah.
Kafuddled and Constantine 607 in Float Plane chat here have both asked kind of similar questions. How relieved are you that you can focus more on what you find fun? How much extra time do you feel that you'll get? And I gotta say, I actually don't know right now because I'm still making a lot of decisions. I have extra side projects that are an additional drain on my time right now. For example, I was quite late for work one day this week because this is pretty exciting. I was doing a walkthrough of the shell building for the badminton center. They're getting ready to hand over keys in about 2 weeks. And we walked through the whole thing to kind of look for any deficiencies and any of that kind of stuff. It's not a CEO duty, that's for sure, but it definitely took time that I wasn't able to spend making videos. So I think that part of the challenge over the next little bit is going to be, figuring out ways to use the little bits of time that I'm freeing up from CEO stuff to train the new CEO to kind of make decisions, if not exactly like I would, make decisions that I would agree with ultimately at some point.
Whatever.
Exactly. And I don't think that's going to be a big problem. And then the other thing is figuring out how to smooth our production processes. I've seen so much feedback from the community about this transition that honestly is sort of confused.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say confused, I mean that people are confused. The day after we made the announcement, actually, I don't know if it was the day after or a couple days after, but we uploaded a video building a $100,000 computer to play Minecraft, right? And the number of comments on that video talking about how great it was to have, Linus with his energy back and, just focusing on what's exciting to him. Guys, there were a bunch of delays, from the various parties that were involved in that video. It was shot literally 2 to 3 months prior to when we uploaded it. We actually hadn't even got a signed job offer from Darren yet. So there's a lot of people kind of seeing what they want to see.
Yeah.
And in the same way, as we've gotten close to the deadline, I've actually seen a lot of people talking about how they're noticing like a difference in me, like maybe I'm nervous about it or something. I'm like, guys, not only are you operating with a significant tape delay between when I film a video and when you guys are seeing it, but you're operating with a super inconsistent tape delay. So if we go through the last handful of videos on the channel, here, I'm just going to put a quick filter in here for views. Let's say greater than 1 million. Okay. Arc Studio was a huge waste of money. That was probably only about a 3 to 4 day turnaround. That one was really fast because Riley really wanted to get this channel launched. And so we pushed, we made it happen. The RTX 4060 review, that was like a 3 day turnaround. But then we get into something like the $800 solid copper cooler. That was probably 2 or 3 weeks. Only you can fix GPU pricing. Here's how. That was about 2 weeks. So it's all over. The Framework Factory, man, so we shot that at Computex. That was 2 weeks as well. And so it's just all over the place, and you can't read too much into it based on the upload date, is all I can really say. 0 Point asks, as CEO, does Terran have higher fire capacity over employees of LMG, meaning he could technically fire Linus while Linus is the owner? Okay, so that's a bit complicated because while Terran is my boss and I do report into him, as the primary shareholders, Yvonne and I are also his bosses and can also fire him. So if he tried to fire me, I would need to hear a really strong argument for why.
I could be wrong about this, but I think on paper he could absolutely fire you, but then you could just fire him and then hire yourself back.
Yeah, I could appoint myself as CEO.
Yeah, so like
which I really don't want to do.
No. But it would be meaningless, right? Like it doesn't matter. Yeah.
John Nee asks, can you elaborate a little bit more on why Terran and not someone else at LMG? The honest truth, and I know LMG people are going to watch this, so I better have a really good HR-friendly answer.
Honest truth is
okay, it's not going to be that great, and it's not going to be that HR-friendly, but it is going to be honest. The honest truth is that LMG is a super, super young company. Internally, I'm old, and I'm going to be 37 this year. Like, I am one of the oldest people on staff, definitely top like 5 to 7%. So think about that, right? Who internally actually has the real world experience being out there, seeing how things are done, and who would be able to come in and approach this task with a balance of, doing things a way that, Yvonne and I are going to feel is right and fair and just, and bringing new ideas to the table. And there's just, there's not a lot of people that I would trust to take on that job. And if not him, I was probably just going to keep doing it myself.
Anyway, yeah, so I think we've had enough from that topic. It was 10 minutes, so yeah, that's really interesting. Go and watch the rest of the Wen show if you're interested in more. But anyway, shall we get into our next topic? Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg may actually end up in a cage fight. Why? We're going to find out, aren't we? So, this has all started on Twitter. So, yeah, so I wonder who would win. Honestly, I don't particularly like either of them, but if I have to choose one person who I'm hoping to be the winner, it would be Elon Musk, because Mark Zuckerberg is CEO of Facebook, and Facebook, yeah. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. Yeah, that'll be quite funny to watch if it actually happens. Two CEOs of some of the biggest companies in the world. Yeah. I don't think there's much else I can say about that. Okay, so should we get into our next topic? Intel has discontinued the ARC A770 16GB limited edition. It's a bit of a mouthful. Board partners will still make the card, but they've discontinued their in-house limited edition card. So if I can get a picture. So this is basically what it looks like. Yeah, they had a super cool design. Yeah, so rest in peace, A770 limited edition. Yeah, so I think that's it for that topic. I don't know what else I can say about that. This next one is very interesting. AMD has announced the Ryzen 5 5600 X3D. So this is AM4. They're still making new AMD AM4 CPUs. So that's good to know. The only catch is it's Micro Center exclusive. So I don't know if I'll be able to get here in New Zealand or something, which is a bit sad. Anyway, no, this is here we are. So this is the first AM4 processor that AMD has launched in like a year or something. So that's cool. The heatsink is not included in the box with this CPU, so be careful of that. Yeah. So I wonder whether it's forever going to be limited to Micro Center, or if I'll be able to find one here or something. I might actually upgrade my CPU to that depending on what happens. So it's $229 US. It's got 96 megabytes of level 3 cache, which is crazy. Yeah, so that's quite cool. So I might get that processor, I might not, because I'm currently in the market for potentially upgrading my PC to have a bit more oomph to it for rendering things. And I think it's time for a break, so see you in about 5 minutes. Au revoir.
the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change. Our roads were lined with adventure, mountains in the way couldn't keep us from the sea. Here we stand, open arms. This is home where we are, ever strong in the world that we made. I still hear you in the breeze, see your shadow.
Welcome back. So let's get into our next topic. YouTube is making it easier for creators to choose thumbnails. So this is quite interesting. So it's going to be called Test and Compare, and it's currently being trialed with a few hundred users, but YouTube hopes to launch it widely next year. So you'll be able to upload 3 thumbnails, and it'll do stuff with the algorithm, I think, to find the best one. Yeah, so that's quite cool. Who knows, we might end up using that. We'll have to trial the feature, get subscribed for that next year. Anyway, Facebook. Let's get into our next topic. Always do that. Facebook is blocking news in Canada. So this comes after the country's Senate has passed the Online News Act, which means that tech companies like Meta and Google will have to negotiate with news publishers and pay them for their content. So that's quite interesting. So good on the Canadian government, I think. That's good. You should be paying the news publishers, although sometimes the media is a bit stupid. Right. Yeah. So, good on the Canadian government, I think. But countries are removing news. I mean, companies are removing news from entire countries, or their news features from entire countries because of this. So yeah, tell me your opinions on this in the comments below. Anyway, I think that's it for that topic, so let's head on to our next one. TikTok's CEO has quit. A lot of stuff about CEOs today, isn't there? V Papaz is leaving the company. So he has resigned. She has resigned. Oh, oops. I've never heard that name before, so yeah. I guess there's going to be a new no, COO, not CEO. COO. It's incorrect in my script. Anyway, I haven't heard that name before. I don't think this is really that important, but who knows? This might make TikTok better or worse than it already is. Yeah. So, should we head on to our next topic? These are just our quick fire topics, really. If I had another host with me, it would be better. Anyway, NFC technology is getting better range and charging capabilities. The NFC just about sneezed there. The NFC Forum published a roadmap through 2028 that should make the tech truly contactless, bring wireless charging to our smallest gadgets, and make it possible to receive payments anywhere, and more. So, currently with NFC, you have to basically bring things like, see my finger's the reader and this key fob's the transmitter. You've got to basically be like that far away to be able to register, but now it can probably be like that far away or something. So the devices actually need to be within 5 millimeters of each other. So it's going to be made to be 30 millimeters instead now. So that's cool. They're also looking to add a multi-purpose tap which could do several actions in just one tap, like having all your cruise tickets being allowed entry at a concert instead of with just one tap instead of swiping to the next one by one. So yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, so should we get into our final topic for today? This might be the first tech wrap up in weeks where we haven't had any technical difficulties. Like we always seem to do on the tech wrap up. Last time we couldn't even get a whole tech wrap up in. Microsoft acquired Bethesda after hearing Starfield with it. Oh no. Keep on nearly sneezing. Microsoft acquired Bethesda after hearing Starfield would be exclusive to PlayStation. Microsoft saw Sony paying Bethesda to keep games off Xbox and decided to do something drastic about it. So it's now going to be an Xbox and PC exclusive. They just did a big Uno reverse card to PlayStation. So yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah, bit anti-competitive. I don't believe these companies should be buying all of these game studios, because then it just becomes Microsoft or Sony. Anyway, why don't they just create their own game studios if they're so desperate? Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. If you missed any of this, you can rewatch on YouTube. Remember to like, share this with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Our Minecraft server is not online at the moment, so yeah, we'll be getting that we'll be getting that online in the next couple of weeks. Also check out our Minecraft. Okay, you viewers, you could just read the script. Also, check out our other channels, Crunch Gaming, Crunch News, and Crunch Sailing. See you next time. Bye. That nearly ended in disaster. Okay, see you next time.